Greetings, good people. I am back. Okay. If you're new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back, Royal Family member. All right. So it's Hot Topics time. We do have Wendy Williams on the lineup, but I got some more hot topics before we get into Wendy. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Calling all parents, calling all parents. Are you aware that Roblox, they are facing a lawsuit? All right, serious allegations. All right, so let's get into this article. This is courtesy of the Jasmine brand on Instagram. So Roblox is under fire after multiple lawsuits accuse the platform of failing to protect children from predators and explicit content. All right, one recent federal complaint filed in Northern California alleges a Michigan girl was exploited by an adult posing as a child on the site. All right. What Roblox represents as a safe, appropriate space for children is, in fact, a digital and real life nightmare for kids. This is what the law group who has filed the 5 lawsuits against Roblox says. So I saw something, I think it was an article that, is it John Hansen? What's the guy who used to do Jim Hansen? Is it Jim? To Catch a Predator. He is getting involved in this situation as well. And there was a guy who set up an account to actually catch these weirdos. And do you know that Roblox suspended his account because he was actually catching and exposing these weirdos? Some serious times we living in. So the lawsuits claim that Roblox profits when these weirdos offer children Robux, which is its in-app game currency, in exchange for explicit photos. Okay, some weirdos allegedly use Robux as blackmail, threatening to release the images unless they receive more. Can y'all believe that this is going on a children's app or app catered toward children? I'm not surprised. This is absolutely terrifying. So a Roblox spokesperson called the accusations categorically untrue. Of course, you're going to say that, and emphasized that the company uses safeguards and artificial intelligence to detect weirdo behavior and alert law enforcement. Still, critics say the platform's protections fall short. Louisiana attorney blah 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 also filed a lawsuit Thursday, while Representative blah 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 is pushing a petition demanding stronger safety measures. Um, how about we just completely get rid of the app altogether? Stuff like this is a breeding ground for these creeps and these weirdos. And although, you do have options to put restrictions on your phone, it's just why, just not why not put a restriction on your phone, but uh, just get rid of the app. We know that the internet is a breeding ground for all types of weirdos. There are children who don't have the emotional intelligence or the capacity, and that's not shade that I'm throwing. They just sometimes don't understand. They don't think that they're doing anything wrong because obviously they're children, right? Secondly, this creates like an addiction. You know how kids are addicted to these games and addicted to the internet, and too much access to stuff like this, like instant gratification, it just creates all types of problems. So you see some of them are sending what we know as adults as inappropriate, images to, they may think it's somebody their age. They're under the impression that it's someone under their age. So it's like, oh, well, I'll send this to my friend. Again, these kids, they don't know any better, and they're not supposed to really know any better because they're underdeveloped emotionally children. The adults who are pretending to be children are creeps and weirdos, and they know better. So let's stop making excuses for these weirdos. Catch them, lock them up. If you want to waste taxpayer money, I say they should be euthanized, but that's neither here nor there. All right. And I think that the app should definitely be shut down. The fact that there was a guy who actually tried to catch these weirdos and his account was shut down, it just leads me to believe that the owners and operators of Roblox, they don't care. They're making money. And they're profiting off of this weirdo behavior. So they don't care. Of course, they're going to defend their brand and their company. This is sick. It's absolutely sick. And because kids have so much access to the interwebs these days, it's hard to kind of detox them from this, especially when they're on these gaming platforms with some of their friends and strangers for hours on end. I hope the whole operation goes down. That's what I'm hoping for, because that's some sick Ish. All right, speaking of sick-ish, you guys heard about this story? So there's a California mother, right, who is claiming that her 7-month-old baby was kidnapped after she was attacked in a store parking lot. Authorities admit that her story has inconsistencies. Now, I remember when I saw this story, um, I was looking at the video and I was just like, huh. But I went to the comments and that, everybody else felt the same way. They're like, she lying. Look at her body language. So let's get into this video and you guys tell me what you think. Like to hear it, here it go.
And I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son.
A 7-month-old baby boy was reportedly kidnapped right out of this Big Five parking lot. This is 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, one of 5 children in this family from Cabazon, reportedly kidnapped last night in Yucaipa. Now, his mom told me that they were here last night at a nearby football stadium in Yucaipa with the other kids playing youth football, and she had to run down here to Big Five to buy some equipment for her stepson, specifically a mouth guard. When she got here to the parking lot, she says that's when she noticed her 7-month-old's diaper needed to be changed. So she says she got out of her truck, went around to the back, and laid him down on the seat to change his diaper when she was attacked from behind.
I got him out of the car seat, and I laid him down so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And a hearing sound, I fell on the floor. And I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck. And I ran into Big Five. And I asked the lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy. He smiled.
Whoever took our son, please give him back.
The search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is.
I fell on the floor, and I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son.
Now, okay, there are a lot of people. Look at this photo of this woman. Look at her eye. What on earth happened to her face? She never said that she fought off the attacker. She never said that the person was armed. She just said that he said hola, which I thought like, oh brother. Now they're gonna further discriminate against a certain group of people because of what she said. She just said she fell to the ground and she looked up and didn't see her baby. I mean, did he vanish? This person vanish into thin air? I don't get it. All right, she could be grieving. Obviously, she could be having a mental breakdown. I do agree with the people in the comments saying that this story just doesn't add up. Some people were a lot less gracious than I'm being and said that she's straight up lying. And look at what this comment says. The dad did it and she knows. No tears from either of them. Speaking about him in past tense. The dad saying, please feed him and protect him. He looks more nervous than sad. The dad just did 78 months for beating one of his kids so bad they have brain damage. Whew. Her eye looks like it's healing, not freshly done. He did it and she's covering for him. Lock them both up. Now, I don't know if that's true. That was just somebody's comment in the comment section. Someone else said he was a happy baby. Lock her up. Why are you talking in past tense? Now, people have the ability to read body language and they pay attention to certain things that people say. I noticed the lady was looking down and like I said, it looks like she has a black eye. And what's that all about? I'm not going to front. When I first heard this, I was just, before even looking at the comments, I was like, so you just got down on the ground. He said, hola. So why did you drop to the floor? Did he say, hola, give me your baby? Now let me tell you something. Parents, moms in particular, dads too. Of course, dads too. If somebody rolls up on you and you have your kid, you're changing your kid in the back of your car or whatever, you have your child with you. Are you just going to be so timid and drop to the ground if somebody says, hola, this is your baby? You going to fight. I'm sure 9 times out of 10, you're going to fight to protect yourself and protect your child, especially. So I don't get it. If you're in the back seat, the door's open, just a lot of things are not lining up. I'm not accusing this lady of anything. I'm not accusing this man of anything, but a lot of people have a lot to say, and they dug up the father's history and they are spreading it all over social media. I will say this, if both of you are lying, then you are going to get exactly what you deserve. I hope and pray that this baby is alive. And things like this really piss me off. If what she's saying is not true, and if indeed they did do something to the baby, because it's like when people need help, and truly need help, they're often not believed. Certain types of people, if you follow my drift, they're often not believed and they're dismissed when they really need help. And here it is, I'm assuming this lady is saying that someone kidnapped her baby, and it seems to me and others that she's not being truthful and there's something more sinister at play. Lady, I hope for your sake that you telling the truth. I don't want it to be true, but at the same token, if you did something to your child, you or that husband of yours did something to your child, then you are going to get exactly what you deserve, because that's sick. Like I said, I first saw it and I was just like, something don't seem right. She seems like she's terrified, to be quite honest with you, and she's been forced to say what she said. All right, who's up next? Oh, here we go, y'all. Did you guys hear about this story? A Long Island mom hits 14-year-old girl in the head with a Stanley Cup during a high school argument with her daughter. Okay, this caption is really weird. So basically, a woman, her daughter was being bullied by a 14-year-old girl. The mother went up to the school because apparently she let the school know somebody's bullying my baby. So a fight broke out, and the mother decided to defend her daughter. And she bopped this bully upside the head with a Stanley Cup. Let's get into the actual news story. Like to hear it? Here it go.
Her mom just came in and started beating me with the cup. I took my head because I saw blood dripping. I took my head and I saw blood all over my hands.
14-year-old Madison Evans, about to start 10th grade here at Brentwood High School, describing a brutal fight as she left summer classes Tuesday morning. In this video taken by her cousin, you can see her arguing with another student, a 15-year-old girl in a lavender shirt. Security trying to keep them apart, doing what they can at first. But then, give me your Stanley.
So security is holding back the 14-year-old girl who got clobbered over the head with a Stanley Cup. The mother is in the green shorts. Give me the Stanley Cup, she said.
That is what you hear the mother of the 15-year-old student telling her daughter. And watch what happens next. 35-year-old Tony Monroe in the yellow tank
Now, is that security? They ain't doing a damn thing.
Top begins to pummel 14-year-old Madison, security calling for backup, but unable to stop the injury that resulted.
And they had to give me 17 stitches.
17 stitches.
Yes.
Today in court, Tony Monroe facing the judge, her lawyer insisting it was Monroe's daughter who was being bullied. In fact, that's why she was here at the Brentwood High School for a meeting about it. Monroe's family saying nothing to reporters as they left the courthouse. But after the chaos of this fight,
as a mom, you're supposed to diffuse the situation and take your daughter away to see what's going on instead of attacking a kid with a cup.
Madison's guardian telling us the video speaks volumes.
Madison's guardian? Where's her parents?
She could have died. Anything could have happened to her more than just being hit over the head and having 17 stitches.
Monroe has no prior criminal history, but she's now facing 2 felony counts for second-degree assault and endangering the welfare of a child. The judge released her with GPS monitoring. He also issued an order of protection to protect the 14-year-old victim in this case.
Let me tell y'all something. Although it's unfortunate that an adult had to clobber this person over this teen girl over the head, but you guys are going to get enough of messing with kids. Leave kids alone. If you're a regular here on this channel, you've heard me say that for years, and nothing is going to change. Once you endanger someone's child or a child's, once you talk about somebody's child, all gloves are off. And yes, the adult should not have assaulted the 14-year-old. However, why is you guys are interviewing this 14-year-old. Why didn't you ask her, why is she bullying people? Why didn't you ask her, is it true that you were bullying this person? The little girl's guardian looks like, child, she always in some trouble. I guarantee, I'm willing to bet, let me rephrase that. I'm willing to bet that this 14-year-old that got the 17 stitches, this is not her first time being in trouble. And it hopefully it'll be her last for her sake. Okay. Secondly, as a parent, parents are going to defend their child, protect their child by any means necessary. The mother caught 2 felonies. She's amongst good company. Okay. The person that is sitting in the White House, Cheeto 4547, got 36, 32 of them felonies. He's been convicted, right? He's a convicted felon. So you're amongst good company. You can still be president of the United States, mama, if you want to. Okay? Y'all gonna get enough. Leave kids alone. And again, I don't understand why the reporter did not ask her, were you bullying? Why were you bullying this girl? I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet the farm that this 14-year-old with this bully, with the stitches, this is not her first time. Hopefully, this is your last, and you'll have 17 reasons why you won't go to school acting like you want baddies. Because that's what a lot of these young kids do. They see stuff on social media. They want to go viral so bad. They probably got things going on at home. They don't have any self-control. The mother was going up to the school to address the issue of bullying. And 9 times out of 10, these schools don't do anything. So yeah, there's a lot of people that's willing to catch a felony because of behind their child. Okay? And someone in the comments said that they caught a felony or caught a charge behind their child and they wear it like a badge of honor. I had the same charge about my oldest son and I wore it with honor. You're not jumping on some kids every week. I'm sorry. Go and do them classes and just know all them kids at the school will try everyone but her. Damn right. Leave people's kids alone. You could choose the behavior, but you can't choose the consequences. Now you done got lumped up. And like I said, I guarantee that she's been a problem before. Well, hopefully you learn your lesson. And as you get older, you think you tough and you think you on an episode or on a season of Baddies or Bad Girls Club, you going to find out the hard way. Because somebody going to get tired of you bullying them and they just may stop you for good. Some of these kids need a serious wake-up call. Everybody is unhinged. People is trying to survive out here. No one sends their kids to school to be bullied. No one. So anyway, let me move it along because I don't like when people mess with kids or people's kids and stuff like that. And I hope all those charges are dropped. And I hope that she get a good lawyer and that felony is wiped from her record. All right, it's time to talk about Auntie Wendy. Okay, so she's been in the news quite a bit. Most recently, her guardianship has been upheld because there was some alleged tests that were run, and it was determined that she basically still needs the guardian, okay? And she needs supervision. So this guardianship is supposed to be upheld until November 5th. I don't know why November 5th in particular. That did raise an eyebrow. So Sabrina Morrissey, whatever the lady his name is, she is going to remain the guardian, the head of the guardianship until about November. Well, Wendy Williams, she wants to get out of the guardianship and she knows that her lawyers are going to be fighting for her. So while dining with friends, the article reads, in NYC over the weekend, Wendy was reportedly asked by Page Six to comment on a recent People report that claimed test results confirmed she has frontotemporal dementia and aphasia, citing legal documents. Wendy gave a shout out to her attorneys and noted they are, quote unquote, highly upset about the reports, although she didn't confirm or deny their accuracy. Okay, an insider claimed that Wendy has not received any confirmation that the test results are valid. Now, Wendy's lawyer, Joe Tapoka, something like that, he vows to sue whoever it is that is responsible for putting her in this guardianship if they don't let her out. So with recent news, them not letting her out of the guardianship, and I guess this is going to be revisited in November 5th. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in November. He's basically ready to take this to court and fight for her to be out of the guardianship. So the article continues, the 61-year-old did make one thing clear, however, stating, "I will get out of guardianship." Now, rumors of Wendy's alleged dementia and aphasia diagnosis come amid her ongoing legal battle to be freed from a court-ordered guardianship. She was placed under the arrangement by a New York judge in 2022 after Wells Fargo froze her bank accounts, citing suspicious activity and claims that she was the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. You know who I don't hear about anymore? Lori Schiller. Y'all know who Lori Schiller is? Lori Schiller was, I guess, her financial liaison over at the Wells Fargo. Wendy, that is. So anytime Wendy Williams or her son needed to make a purchase or needed any money, they consulted and contacted Lori Schiller to approve whatever the purchase is or what have you. Lori Schiller was the one, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I am. Lori Schiller was the one that alerted Wells Fargo that Wendy Williams needed to be, that she was being exploited financially. I don't think that's the term that she used, but she's the reason why Wendy actually ended up in the guardianship, because I think it was like Wendy Williams was getting her son an apartment. You guys know, like when he started college, she got him an apartment, and he had to basically, the agreement was he had to continue going to school, and she would pay for his living expenses. Now, you guys know Wendy Williams always said whatever her son wants, he can have. She spoils him. You know, she never tells him no. So if that was her setup, how could he exploit her? Like, I don't get it. If she says he can have whatever he wants, he was authorized user on her Amex. He could spend money on whatever he wants. Wendy never told him no. Now, mind you, she could have changed her mind. I'm just brainstorming here. Like, she could have changed her mind, but who is Lori Schiller to say, "Hey, you're spending too much of your mother's money, so we're gonna cut this off"? You know, something just seems off. It's always seemed off. But I notice I don't hear anything about Lori Schiller, because I don't think she's over Wendy's finances anymore. But why aren't we hearing Lori Schiller's name? Anything. Anyway, Wendy has continuously denied having any serious mental health issues and is currently suing to end the conservatorship, which she has previously described as feeling like, quote unquote, prison. Okay. Do I think that Wendy Williams is going to come back in a media space? No, I don't. I mean, granted, I'm a firm believer that God can turn anything around, but do I see that for her? Excuse me. No, I don't. Do I think it would be a good idea? No, I don't. This is really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I do think that she's being exploited and robbed blind. I wholeheartedly believe that. I do believe that they've made her son the villain, and it's unfortunate. You know, it's really, really unfortunate. It's her only child, and she can spend her money however the heck she wants. And also another thing that I oftentimes think about is, you know, it's been said that Wendy Williams has a substance abuse problem. Well, she hasn't admitted that because she's been in a sober house. So she, you know, has a drinking problem. And I don't know what other issues she has, right? If Wendy Williams wants to drink herself under the table, right? Why does Wells Fargo get to say, "Hey, no, we need to put somebody in charge of your finances because you're not capable of handling"? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. What does Wells Fargo have to do with her addictions? You know how many people have mental health issues, addictions? I've never heard of them being in a guardianship. It's weird. She should be able to spend her money however she wants. If she wants to give her son money, it's her money. She worked for it. Who the heck are you guys to tell her what she can and cannot do with her money? There's allegations of doctors being paid off. Who's making those financial decisions if Wendy doesn't have access to her money? Very interesting. I just think that this is going to get very ugly. It's already bad, and I think it's going to get uglier and uglier. Does Wendy Williams need someone to stand up for her? Yes. Do I think that she should be told or her money should be controlled and she has no access to her money? Absolutely the hell not. You know, this woman, when this whole conservatorship conservatorship thing kicked off, Wendy Williams was using her credit card, according to her, to buy things for herself. Why was her money being controlled like that? She should have access to her money. It's her money. She made the money. And if she wants to spend it all on whatever the heck, it's her choice. All of this is fishy and it seems absolutely positively weird. Here's what I would like for you to do. Drop down in the comments and share your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's all I got for now, but I'll be back. So share your thoughts in the comments and I will talk to you later.